Yes, that was the new intro. So, hey
That
everyone, welcome to Autistic Eyes. I'm your host here, Christopher Casson, that autistic photographer who just wants to be able to go out and learn more of the world and share it. So, and here I have a good friend of mine, Mary Zola-Vega, who is the started, owns, and
hmm
runs Thriving Athletes.
hmm
And this is over the Hey, Michelle. And this is over the subject of scholarships.
You
So, how about maybe to start off with a very quick introduction here.
Okay, cool. As Chris said, I'm Mary Zola-Vega. I'm the founder and CEO of Thriving Athletes. Thriving Athletes has been around for about 13 years now. We've helped over 476 kids and $21 million in scholarships. We have helped funding with athletes and other students, all sorts of students, helping them find the perfect fit in college. Been doing that because of it. When my daughter was young, some coach told her she'd never play in college. And as any good mom, I said, we'll figure it out. So I've been spending the last 13 plus years figuring it out and doing it full time now. Full time, like nothing else. I got rid of my store in since June. But otherwise, my store in this was I was always doing my store and this, but now
So, wow, we're really jumping towards the origin story here. So let's go deep into it.
Yeah, the store is now closed, and so now.
So what kind of store was it, by the way?
A specialty dress shop for prom, homecoming, galas. Like that's why all the girls from an event we went to had all the dresses on, is because they got it from me. Yeah, and I have about 150 dresses in my basement, so looking to wholesale them out. So if you know of anyone looking for dresses, guess who? Yep.
Getting to I can't remember what kind of events from high school. It's been way too long for me. Shows how old I am. So
No. Well, prom, homecoming, for you, Indiana, winter ball.
Oh, I don't recall ever having a winter ball in my school. But
oh, really? Oh, yeah. Hammond. Well,
hey, Patty.
Maryville. Hey, Patty, how are you? Yeah. All those guys. I've been at Crown Point. They have the winter balls. Yeah. And they have prom too.
So anyway, back to the origin story of how you actually got started with deciding you wanted to start Thriving Athletes. So it was about your daughter trying to get some sort of scholarship, and the coach said that she would never be able to. And then what happened that made you make that that really got you to really look into it and decide, oh, I'm going to take this on to help others? So
that's a great question, Chris. Let me go back a little step back. In 8th grade, she did that test. You know how every doctor has you touch your toes?
Yeah.
For sports physicals or whatever high school physicals, you got to touch your toes. When she did that, her back was like this, like way off. And I was like, oh, come on, don't do that. Stop fooling around, right? And she's like, I'm not. What are you talking about? Well, when she stood up, I never noticed. I guess I'm going to call myself a bad mom here. I never noticed, but she was totally turned. But they had told me she had grown 6 inches in less than 6 months. So what happened is that her scoliosis went headstrong. And so they couldn't even put her into a what do you call those same things? A cast or a brace, because it was too fast. So she had surgery done. And she was already playing sports. So she had surgery done like during the summertime and came back her freshman year. Couldn't play like the fall season, but went into club right after that because she came back so strong. I mean, and then she also had some jaw surgery because she had she grew too fast, so everything was uneven, right? So they had to go in and cut her jaw and do all this other stuff too. So she had all this surgery, and this girl came back so quick, so fast, and so healthy. When she went to go play club ball, the first thing that came out of the coach's mouth is, now that she has these 17-inch rods in her back and all this wire in her back and her chin and whatever else, she'll never play in college. And I went like, what? And
my mind right at that moment was, how the hell do you know?
Well, I, as a mom, just having my first kid in sports, I was like, what? That can't be true, right? I was like, what? When I was in college, how they did it was, okay, I went to, I was at a high school. The coach went around and said, do you want to play at my school? Do you want to play at my school? Do you want to play at my school? I said, sure. Went there and screwed up my scholarship, but I was there. Then it was a long time ago, Chris, a long time ago. And the drinking age went to 19. And I found out that very early that drinking age was a lot more fun than playing sports. Not now anymore, of course, but that's what I thought when I was 19. So, lost my scholarship, still went to school, did all that kind of stuff. But anyhow, needless to say, I didn't have any idea what to do next. So when they told me this, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So she was at a club and she was still a great athlete. So I just thought, no way am I gonna let that happen. And then as I got her a placement, other people would come to me and say, how did you do that? What did you do? And then I would help them out. And then clubs would call me and say, hey, we need a recruiting coordinator. Would you be interested in coming on? Since your daughter's here, that will pay for her fees. So that's how I paid for her fees and her travel, because they paid for me for the travel because I was helping recruiting. So as that went along the way, that's how it kind of went. The clubs would call me and say, hey, we want to hire you to go out to this event to do the recruiting. Would you be interested in going out there? We'll pay you this much money. And then parents would say, hey, how'd you do that? Can I hire you? And it kind of developed into
just kind of went in the snowball effect with more and more coming in. And you just thought, hey, there's something here.
Yes, I did. In fact, I had a name originally called Educated Athletes. And I did that because I'd always originally started with people knowing that you don't always have to be that top athlete. If you love the game and have whatever you need to take to go to that school, you could probably play if you had the whole, like, all puzzle pieces put together, you could probably play. But then I lost that through, I lost that because NCAA bought up that URL for their homeschool kids. So I thought, well, I must have something here. If NCAA is buying that up, I must have something. And then people just start calling me. So so that's what I do now. Now I'm doing it totally full time.
Yeah.
I know.
Exciting. Woo!
Yes, it's very, very exciting, and yet it's different. Yeah, but yeah, full time.
But it's new territory for you, so that's awesome, and you really look to be enjoying it.
Oh, I love it. You know, like we were just talking here earlier, and I got a message. Someone wants to talk to me about being a new customer, and I'm like, yeah, because I just love helping these kids find that perfect fit, and that's what it's about. And that's where the scholarships come in, because there are only 5 sports that are fully funded sports. Fully funded means room, board, tuition, and books. Only 5. Okay.
Only 5.
Yes, that's men's football, women's volleyball, women's gymnastics, women's tennis, and boys and girls basketball. That's it. The reason why it's like that is because Title IX was made, I can't remember what year, 81 maybe, maybe even 79, 81, I'm not sure. You have to have the equal amount of guys and girls, money-wise, to have those exact same scholarships. Since football has so many people on it.
Yeah, especially since America football, of course.
Exactly. And there's so many people that they have to, they cannot, that money has to be equalized. And so gymnastics has a lot of people, tennis, you know, those types of things that can go ahead and equal out those numbers. Yeah, that's what fully funded is.
Patty, that's what fully funded means.
Yeah. And then, and they're go ahead. Yeah.
Now that's talking about, okay, those are the main 5. Have you ever gotten anyone that's came to Thriving Athletes that's looking for something that's a bit more on the unusual side, in your opinion, such as maybe wrestling or whatnot?
Yep, I have archery, equestrian right now. I have an archery kid, an equestrian kid, wrestling. This is how you got to look at it. There are ways that you can go ahead and become a professional athlete, correct?
Yeah.
Professional tennis, professional gymnastics, professional volleyball. Actually, volleyball in Europe is very big. They pay for you to play. But sports like wrestling, archery, skeet shooting, those type of things, they're not professional sports. So that's why not why, but that's a people don't like to go into those sports because like there's nothing for me to do, right? I won't become a professional. But there are ways they can still go to college and earn money. There is ways to do that.
So, and what are those ways?
The good question. Good question. So they're called equivalency sports. Okay, which means you may have 25 kids on a team, and the coach only has $100,000 to give out. He can equalize. He can take that money and equally spread it out throughout the team. Or what most coaches do is they say, you're the most important person or the most valuable person, the one that gives a score the most. I'm gonna give you more money. You're probably going to sit the bench, so you might not get as much money. Those are Division II, Division II, and then junior college Division II. Those sports are the ones, and then any other D1 that's that's an equivalency sport too. So there's a lot out there. There's a lot more sports that are equivalency sports, not head count sports. So that's where we help them find the scholarships. So they may get a little bit of money for athletic wise. Some may get full rides if they're really that good. Okay. It just depends. It's all a negotiation game. And then that's where we help negotiate.
Yeah, and that's just on the sports side. There's also, I remember you doing a live stream before about all the different tier schools and whatnot as well. And everyone wants to go to that top tier always, but that doesn't mean that that's necessarily the best for them. Could you explain more about that?
Sure can. I'll give you a great example. I recently had an athlete that decided that he was going to play. He wanted to be on this big football team, no matter what. He didn't care if he rode the bench or whatever he did. He just wanted to go Purdue. That's where he wanted to go. He wanted to go there no matter what. So they offered him a big school position as a walk-on. A walk-on means you are walking onto the team, no strings attached, no contract, no reason to play. You're just going to be there and be in a uniform. No money, no nothing.
Really? And he wanted to go that badly because just the name attached, or?
Yes. And he's a business major, so he doesn't need to be at Purdue for a business major. I mean, it's a great school, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think that's where the opening of the eyes have to be done in the parents and the athletes. That what's important to the athlete is the athlete want to play in college because that's what they know, because that's what they've been doing since they're 5 years old. Or do they just want to go to college? Not just, they want to go to college and maybe just study and not do their sports. If they want to do them together, they have to find the right fit.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest discussion I have with parents. If you want to find a scholarship to play in college, you have to accept where you're going to fit in this world of colleges. It might not be Penn State. It may be, I don't know, Truman College, which I love that school. So if Truman College people are watching, I love that school in Missouri. But if that's a best fit for you because you get the right money, the right academics, and you're going to be an active member of the team, then that's your perfect fit. Yeah. Where other kids will say, nope, I'm just going to go to Purdue. It's going to cost me $100,000 before I graduate, and my mom and dad are going to pay for it.
Yeah. Not the best attitude, because I could go downhill real quick.
Oh my gosh. And this poor kid, he thinks his mom and dad are paying for it. And I'm like, sorry, Charlie. Yeah. So we'll work on academic scholarships. And that's another way you can get scholarships. If you have the magic number for academic scholarships is 26 on an ACT. If you have 26 and above, that's usually the magic number to get some merit-based scholarships. If your EFC is usually 7,000 and below, your EFC on your FAFSA, then you usually can get some needs-based scholarships. Okay? Did I totally lose you?
It's been a while since I looked up college stuff. Again, I'm showing my age.
Sorry, you looked at me like, what? So there are ways to get to scholarships. You just have to know how to find them and marry them together. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you just mentioned there are multiple scholarships. So I'm guessing there's a lot more than just sports, right?
Oh my gosh, there is. In fact, I have my phone here for the reason I wanted to show you something. Hang on here. Okay, wrong one. Hang on. I have a little app here. Okay, here it is. Okay, so I know it's going to be hard to see. Let me go this way. Oh, wait. There and there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, see these little apps? These are apps on my phone that anyone can go into. I'll read them real quick. There's My Schoolie. There is College Aid. Raise Me Up is a great one. Scholarships Galore, Grant, Apply Me, and then another one called Scholarship Gator. So these are apps that you can find on your phone, and you can actually sit there and apply for things on your phone. Ones that may not need essays. And that is just a little bit of the sampling. Just this bit.
Really taking advantage of that tech. It makes me wonder if you're going to have a Thriving Athletes app.
Working on it.
Oh, I actually got it right.
Yeah, I actually met someone the other day that actually does apps, and we were talking about it because that is my goal. Because right now, when people go on the site, they can go and look for stuff, but it will be fantastic to go ahead and have all that where they can go in and click in and go to the different places that have scholarships, etc. Thriving Athletes itself, we're working on funding a scholarship. We have a couple people that have asked to help fund one and kind of come up with their own, because I offer businesses all the time. If you want to fund a scholarship, I mean, we had one funding for a Rockford event. Jean Latch, who is a great photographer, someone you should probably get to know. She does portrait photography. She's really great. She had a scholarship out there, $250 that someone could have earned it at an event. So regular business can make their own scholarships too, and then that will be on the app. And then it's going to be an app also for coaches to go on and find different athletes.
Yeah, since you just discussed of creating a scholarship, what exactly is the process for starting a scholarship for anyone interested? Me.
It's actually very easy. All you have to do is write up the stipulations of what a scholarship is. I have someone on my team, Teresa Harris. She owns a company called Scholarship Mama, so she really helps when I write up scholarships. It's very easy. You just have to write up the specifics and be very specific of how you want that scholarship to be spent and where it needs to go. And then once it's funded, all you have to do is make it available to the public. And you can go ahead and put it on those different apps or offer it out just in general. But most people that offer it are nonprofits, so they can write it off, which I think you're applying for, right? Or are you a nonprofit already or no?
Not yet. Right now it's just in the idea just popped up phase kind of thing. So
okay, got it. Yeah, I mean, I actually am on a nonprofit board, so they carry Thriving Athletes for me. So you might want to think about that for your very first time being a 501(c)(3), and they carry me as one of their, because I'm a board member, so they carry me as one of their people. And then from there, after I'm on that so much time, then we're going to flip that over to my own 501(c)(3) in the name of empowering athletes.
Okay. Yeah. So doing scholarships means you set up a 501(c)(3).
No, you can do anything. You can do it on a profit, nonprofit, for-profit, but most people that do it are nonprofits, so they can write it off. But you can do it as a for-profit with no problem. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All you have to do is be clear on your stipulations.
Yeah, because if not, then, well, people can take advantage of that, unfortunately.
And they do. Oh, my gosh. They do. They would turn around and say, but if you, let's say it was just for autistic people, and they turn around and say, but yet when I was in first grade, I was labeled autistic, and now I'm not anymore. Well, maybe that's not part of your stipulation. Maybe your stipulation is that you have to be 18 to have an IEP, and you have to have this and this and that. So that's the things you have to really be really specific about. Or maybe you want to just use it for an autistic person that's an artist. You can be that specific.
Yeah, and the way with how the depth is going straight up, in some ways I could see how people can be that desperate with, cheating out on scholarships, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, last year the estimate was, if I remember correctly, 1.5 trillion now. Last year, what is it now?
Now it's it was 1.4, now it's 1.5. $1.5 trillion in debt. The United States is in student loan debt. And most of those, I think it is 2/3 of them are in default.
Jeez.
I know, right? Which is terrible. So basically, the whole idea that what Thriving Athletes is about is to graduate with little or no debt. I mean, some people may have some debt because they chose to go to Harvard and they didn't have Harvard money. So they ended up with 5,000 of their Stanford loans or unsubsidized loans or whatever it might be. They end up with those loans, but it's a lot less than 150,000. And that's why I tell people, if you end up, getting all your scholarships and you maxed out everything and the school costs 47,000 to go to and you got 31,000, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I have so many people that want to go for free because I think the government's always cheating them. Yes, school is expensive, but it's still a business and they're still looking for money.
Yeah.
And they're going to try.
It's just a matter of how they allocate the money that we have arguments over.
Exactly.
Really.
Exactly. I know one school, I don't know if I could say it on here or not, but I will. Butler. Butler has told their students when they apply, we have no more money left. Do not come back and ask us for more money. So, I mean, I've worked with a few students that went there that they should have gotten a full ride with no doubt in my mind they should have had a full ride. I mean, enough where I've proven it 1,000 times at other schools, but they wanted to go to Butler no matter what. They wanted to go there. They took on the debt, and Butler made it real clear that they're not giving out any more scholarships. So that's one thing that's going different in this world of financial aid. The schools are saying, don't come back and ask us. We're not going to give you any more money.
Yeah, it's kind of gotten down to that path now. So it's just, before it gets even more out of control than it already is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's where I'm hoping that I can come in and help, because get this, Chris, this is crazy. 8.1 million high school athletes. That's a lot, right? Only 400,000 play sports. Right. Because they're either burnt out or they think they can't play because it's not at the best, Penn State level or whatever. So they don't play. Or they don't change sports so they can go ahead and continue and pay for college. So I just think that's so crazy. I mean, that's crazy. It's not even enough. There's like 4,000 schools in the United States, right? That's only 100 kids, right? Is that right? That's only 100 kids per school. And that's not enough to cover a team. Yeah. I know schools that have called me and said, I'm sitting on 6 scholarships. Can you find me some kids? And kids, I don't want to go there. I don't like that school. It's too small. It's too whatever.
Do you think that's part of the problem? Because everyone just wants to go to the top tier all the time and never think of the more smaller schools. Maybe even a community college or something like that. That would be much more better fit, I guess you could say.
That's like if I had a little bell here, I'd be dinging it, ding, ding, ding. That's a bingo. That's bingo. You got it. Too many people have in their head, and it comes from the parents. Okay, it comes from that. It actually comes from some of the educators too, that keep pushing these big name schools. But these big name schools have these huge marketing budgets, and boy, they look great, and they're attracting all these kids, right?
Yeah.
And these littler schools don't have the marketing budget. So I'm trying to help them and market them out there because there's some great schools that these kids have no idea that they could really thrive. Yes, they could thrive so much better than they did at a big, huge school. But no one's introducing them to them. And you're right. And what's going to happen here, years down, not next year or whatever, years down the road, these smaller schools, like right now, Roosevelt and Robert Morris, they merged because they have enough students. Yeah, and that's right here in Chicago. So they just merged good and bad. Good, because now they can have more money to pull from. Bad, what happens to all those teams that have to come together? Now kids are going to lose scholarships, etc. But good, because maybe there'll be more money to give out to different things, or maybe more scholarship money, who knows? But yeah, that's what's going to start happening, because these little schools are not going to be able to stay in business because these kids keep picking these big schools. Then it's so funny that they graduate and then they don't do anything but move back home. And yet they could have went to a different type of school that might have excelled them or made them thrive as a student. And I'm just trying to help educate everyone that there's more options.
Hence your current name, Thriving Athletes.
You got it.
And I'm guessing that's why you changed it from Educated Athletes to Thriving Athletes?
No, not at all. I changed it because Educated Athletes, like I said, was bought up by NCAA, the URL. I let it expire. My fault. All my fault. It was bought up. And I was working with Jeff Levin at the co-op. And I still do a product called Thrive. That's not why I did Thriving Athletes, but I just like the word thrive. And we were talking one day and he said, why don't you just call it Thriving Athletes? I mean, that's what you're about. You like Thrive and you like athletes and Thriving Athletes. And I said, you know what? I just like the name Thriving Athletes. I could care less about the other stuff. It is about kids not only surviving, but thriving. And that came from Jeff Levin in the Co-op Network when I was working with him. Yeah. And then I met you and Ryan, and you guys worked on this beautiful logo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe I have my shirt somewhere around here that you gave me, the polo shirt with the logo. So.
Oh, good. Yeah. And you guys, I have so many compliments on this logo all the time. I mean, thank you very much, Chris. You and Ryan. I know you did. I can't remember what part you did and Ryan did. You did.
Ryan did the text and I did the graphic part.
That's what I thought. The guy in the hair. Yeah. So I get a lot of good compliments on that logo, and I love the logo, and I love Thriving Athletes. People have asked me before, hey, why don't we change it? Why don't we do this? Some people I work with, and I'm like, no. I mean, and then one thing I am probably going to change, which you did one already, where it has all the different sports, like the different balls, softball, football, all that. We have one that you did up. Yeah. I'm really going to change that and put it in here somewhere, because someone recently just said, are you just working with runners? I'm like, no, don't you get it? Athlete, runner. Yeah. So
athlete, runner.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the most basic one.
Exactly. Well, and I think at that time when you were doing it, we researched it, and that was the most, the international thing for an athlete was that running, running man. Yeah.
Running man.
Yeah.
Hey, Nancy, how's it going?
I know. I owe Nancy a phone call. We're actually planning in June 2020 to do a athletes retreat with Nancy and Scott. And I have information I have to call them on and let them know all this great stuff about Salt Lake City, south of Salt Lake City, where we're going to do it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a venture therapy for athletes, but they have to be like freshmen going into the freshman year. Yeah.
So, okay, we're on the topic of events, and you start events around the Chicagoland area, and now it's going more national. So could you tell us more on what that's about?
Sure. Empowering Athletes for Life is basically, and Scott. Didn't I say Scott? No. Okay.
No, sorry. I think she meant me, because I only saw the name Nancy.
Okay. Sorry. So Empowering Athletes for Life is where we, people say to me, Mary, you have a team, yes, but can you help us help with more people, or people of lower income areas that can't maybe afford your one-on-one service? So we developed Empowering Athletes for Life. We are actually calling it Recruiting Score the Perfect Fit by Empowering Athletes for Life. And the reason why we did that is because of the fact we want people to know that it is about scoring the perfect fit. That's what it's about. What it is when you go into the event, you get an actual combine where your stats are measured by the Chicago Blackhawks strength and conditioning coach. He comes in with his team and they measure, height, weight, speed, all that kind of stuff. And then we have the full day of events. So what we do is we have a keynote speaker comes in and talks about mindset, let's say. And then everyone breaks out to separate rooms. There should be about 10, 15 people a room, and they all break out and they talk to people about how to work a mindset. Because these kids, they hear these great speeches, but they're like, now what do I do? And they learn about decision fit, which means the right decision, the right school, the right placement, and then the right decisions while they're in college. Then we have financially fit, which is working with people that working with the FAFSA, working about what the budget is, what do you do about a loan, how do you do that? Then we have academically fit, which is ACT, SAT prep, which is a huge thing. Some schools don't have to have it anymore now, but a lot of schools still are having where you have to have test scores. And then we have healthy fit, which is people that come in and talk about eating right, etc. Healthy type of stuff. Yeah. And I'm missing one. Hold on. Financial, academic, decision, healthy, and isn't it terrible? I just had it like in mind. Whoa.
Well, welcome to my world. Where occasionally I have a brain freeze.
Did I say mindset? Mindset. So mindset, financial, academic, healthy, financially. Okay, got them all. Okay. There you go. And
there we go.
The whole idea here is that these kids have to go through these 5 things, and they get a certificate that they're an empowered athlete. Now, because you know me and my big visions I have, NCAA is a sporting government for athletes. And you have to be certified to play a sport in college through NCAA or NAIA. And college coaches ask for that. When you go apply, they ask you, are you in the NCAA clearinghouse or NAIA clearinghouse? I want the coaches to say, are you also an empowered athlete? So it would be something that those kids would have to have a certification of. The college coaches want to know that you know about financials, about your decision, about your academics. I want that to be the new standard for college-bound athletes. And that is my long-term goal.
That was the next thing I was going to ask you, actually, of how exactly is Thriving Athletes going to move forward from here? How's it going to expand? Any kind of hint?
Hint?
A little bit of a nugget?
The app, we're going to definitely be doing an app. And then we do have people. I have one girl in Louisiana that does volleyball, another one in Arkansas volleyball, football in Texas. So we are going out. In fact, I was just talking to a coach today. I asked him where he thought was the least recruited area in the United States, because he said everyone is recruited from, I'm reading my notes here, from Chicago, Indianapolis, get this, Chicago, Indianapolis, St. Louis, and Kansas City.
So basically all Midwestern.
Right. The best athlete, Texas. That's what he says. This is just a Big Ten coach I was asking. The best volleyball players, California. Because
I figured that would be
the case. Yeah, exactly. I think they grow up with a ball in their hand. They're born. Woo!
Yeah, but that giant beach line there. So
exactly. But I asked a coach that today. I have a couple coaches that many coaches I'm very good friends with, and I was asking them questions about different things, and so there are areas out there that need us. Minnesota, Bismarck, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, where there's some awesome athletes. That 8.1 million athletes, they're somewhere. And so the next thing is to spread as far and wide as we can. We are a cloud-based business. So except for our events, we're a cloud-based business, so we can be anywhere, which is really cool. So that's what we're trying to do, is like expand, and let all the different athletes know that they can play in college.
As well as keeping an eye on any kind of new tech that could be coming around, such as virtual reality kind of thing.
Yep. And that will be on like right now on our site, we will have a private site just for coaches that can go in. And I'm hoping, my hope is down the line that we can connect it all. Like when you go watch a college game or a high school game, you can actually connect to their live feed. And my whole thing is that we'd have someone that tech smart that would be able to say, okay, I'm going to go watch a kid at Lincoln Way East High School play at this game. I'm going to connect it, and I can do it right here on my phone and don't have to be there. Yeah, because recruiting budgets are going down to nothing. So it's just one way to help those college coaches be that middleman to make sure that they see all those different kids that no one gets seen. Yeah,
because you never know. They might be the next. Okay, I'm thinking of. You're talking to someone that doesn't really go into sports.
It could be next Michael Jordan. How's that?
Oh, I was thinking more along the lines of football, since that's the most common thing you tend to hear. But yeah, I was a huge Bulls fan in the mid-'90s.
There you go. And he got cut from his high school team twice. Yeah. And he just, and that's another thing too. Boys grow later and they perform better later in life. But a lot of times they're freshman or sophomore, they want to give up because they're like, I don't know, I can't do this. Well, your body's not ready to yet. That kind of stuff. Yeah. So that's what I'm up to. And yes, Empowering Athletes for Life, I would love it to be in every state.
Just the eventual goal.
It will.
Yep, it will. Only a matter of time. Only a matter of time.
Yeah, you know me.
Never giving up, never surrender.
That's right. In fact, it's when I used to work in corporate, they used to call me Miss Tenacity, because that was the big joke all the time. Yes, there she goes. And I'm like, yep, that's right. I'm not going to give up. Yeah.
And speaking of more recent things, I believe it was last month that you're now suddenly in a radio show. So how about you tell us about what What's going on there?
Oh,
Because you were telling me about the look of the studio and whatnot.
yeah, it's so much fun. Someone texted me and said, "Can you get on this Zoom call? They're interviewing people for a radio station." And I'm like, they have 2 time slots to fill. Can you get on the Zoom call? I'm like, oh, sure. I don't know. I just got on. Yeah, I'm like, okay, fine. So I'm on the Zoom call and they're interviewing everyone on the call and they're talking around and they're asking me all these questions. I'm like, okay. And they said, well, if we're interested, we'll let you know. I'm like, okay, that's it. And then like 10 minutes later, I get a text. By the way, can we talk to you? And I'm like, oh, me? Sure. Why not? Okay. So then they start telling me that Q4 Radio is a non-for-profit radio station. And what they do
that's the first I've actually heard of a non-for-profit radio station.
Well, it's the coolest thing because it's not just a radio station. It is the coolest place. That's why I hope that I can get you down there, and that would be kind of fun to do. You can do some pictures and that type of stuff. What it is when you walk in, it's like an art studio. It has so many different mediums of art. It's amazing. It has from statues to wall paintings to murals to oils to, oh my gosh, everything you possibly think of. And then there's a great big art room that you can go in there and paint and do whatever. Then there's a big music room where they do recordings, big podcast area. Then there is actually a graphic place that he does all his graphics. And then also in the radio station itself, all the walls are painted by all the different artists. And in the radio station, there's actually a studio there. If someone plays an instrument, they can play and perform in there. So I just thought this is so cool because 1, it was nonprofit, which I thought was really neat. And 2, the fact that I would be meeting all these different people. So when the time slots came open and they told me it was 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., I'm like, oh, no way.
Oh, God. Well, I'm getting used to waking up very early lately. So.
Yeah, I saw that. You've been up early doing that early walk or ride your bike or something.
I've been jogging lately, actually.
Okay, well, that's good. I haven't.
Jogging like the guy in your logo there.
There you go. Good for you. I have not. I have actually been doing 10 minutes a day. I have an elliptical. I have a great elliptical that I bought years ago that I thought would never work again. And I just plugged it in. I was like, wow, you really work. So dang it. I was hoping you didn't, right? But it does. So I get on there, do my little elliptical thing. Yeah. I said
some 80s music.
Yes, I do. For Pandora, right?
Yeah.
You just dial that baby right in. Isn't it funny when you listen to music from my childhood, my high school years, you know every word. I tell myself I'm going to spend 10 to 15 minutes right on this. And I always say 4 songs. After I get done singing 4 songs, that's usually 15 minutes because they're about 3.5 minutes a piece, right? Until something like, some long ass song comes on. I'm like, oh shit, now I got to go 20 minutes. But yeah, so I've been pretty good about doing that. So
yeah. And then Patty says, "Get moving." Lol.
I know. I am. But yeah. So
Nancy has a question of: is this radio station part of Green Cow?
No, it's not. Green Cow now is a online co-mingling or co-educational space, and it's really cool. I'm one of the guys. Are you one of the guides for that too? Were you're doing training sessions?
I haven't been able to get to that.
Okay.
Because I've been so busy with everything else. But I do want to eventually get down to a point where I start helping out more. But.
Right. Lee was in a facility that they have a state, like a city-run facility, and they were going to use it for something else. So him and Miranda got really creative, and so what they have is a online training. So a lot of people are involved with it, where you can go on and you can do little snippets, and it's only like 5-10 minute sessions that you can learn about different things. And I'm talking about empowering entrepreneurs. That's what I'm talking about. How to go through those ups and downs of closing businesses and opening new ones and doing all that stuff I've done, right? So that's part of that. So Nancy, you get a hold of that, Lee Watson through Green Cow. It's really cool. I mean, you may be able to be a guide on there because it's a really neat thing. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I'm going to have you bring you on to that studio because as an artist, You would probably go, what radio station?
Yeah. What are we talking about again? I'm just stroking the painting right here.
Exactly. Exactly.
All those little texture brushes, that
Exactly.
brushwork.
Well, they have a lot of like modern stuff too, like where they
Mm.
taken metal and moved it, made it into a whatever. I'm
Mm.
not. My daughter's an artist. I'm not. But
Mm.
I'd be calling you in the other room. Chris, you're on. Get over here.
Oh, and I'll be in. Okay, what are we talking about today?
Exactly.
So, what kind of different subjects does this radio talk show do, and what are you doing for it?
Ours is called Conscious College Conversations. So it's not just about athletes; it's about all conversations you can think of going into college. We've had actually athletes on there. We've had parents on there. We've had entrepreneurs on there. Any information that can help those decisions going into college. Anything. And we talk about anything. And let me tell you, it's the fastest 2 hours I ever. It goes like this. It's crazy. It's yeah. And they have so much on their radio station. I'm gonna look it up for you real quick. It's just
look it up for the audience here.
Yeah, hang on here. It's called Q and then the number 4 radio. And hang on here. Yeah. And it has like stage and equipment rental. Okay. They do large print design. I know it's going to be really hard to see. Wait, let me go this way. Like large print design. They do some really cool stuff there. And then what?
My dog's not feeling well, so he's kind of hacking here, just in case anyone's wondering what the is in the background. It's just there he goes.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not good.
Poor thing.
Okay.
Give him some Benadryl.
Well, we already got him started on medication, but
yeah, good. Yeah.
But
that's good. Yeah, they have things
still happening every now and then. I'm just worried about him being at that age where heart problems and whatnot. But there we go again.
Oh, poor thing.
Yeah, I know. It was a lot worse during the weekend where we couldn't do anything but wait till the vet office opens, and it was just wow.
Yeah, that's really sad.
Yeah.
But here, I see, like, you can even book a photo shoot there, and they have rooms that you can book, etc. You go like that way. Yeah, it's really cool. It's a whole different look as a radio station, and you can become members, and you can use it like a co-working type of space. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Like tonight, no, it's tonight, Wednesday, so I don't even know what's on tonight. But it was started by 4 people. That's why it's called Q4. But yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, like if I went on there now, I think I don't know what's playing now. But you can go on through your phone. It's under Q4 Radio for iTunes, Listen In, all those different ones have it. It's under Q4 Radio. Then you look up. I think we have it under Conscious College Conversations or 3C's Radio. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How's that?
Let's see. How old is he? She's talking about my dog. I recall over 10, but we adopted him, so not exactly 100% sure of his age, but definitely over 10 years old. So, so yeah.
And he's so tiny, and tiny dogs,
that's
old for a tiny dog, isn't it?
Yeah. Like a toy poodle, because of my allergies, I'm allergic to most breeds of dogs, so my selection is a bit limited. It more has to do with the fur and dandruff.
Oh, that's right. And poodles don't have that, right?
Nope.
Oh.
They just have hair.
Actual hair?
I believe so, yeah. They don't actually shed like you usually see with some dogs and cats, especially. So.
Oh. Well, that's good. Because that's one thing I had when we were young. We had dogs, and they shed all over. Come on. And I said shed, people. Shed.
Yep.
Oh,
there we go.
Yes.
He wanted to join.
He is a cutie.
Yeah.
When we were little, we had a toy poodle called Susu.
Well, man, we're getting into dog talk from college talk. So it's just weird.
Right.
But, yeah, why not? But, yeah, he's a toy poodle, so he's he was just abandoned by his family that moved out just in the middle of winter, and we think that they must have just left water and food out for him to distract him while they left, because every time he goes for food or water, he always expects someone to be within eyesight. So a little bit of PTSD there.
Oh, wow. Oh, he's a cutie. Look at him. He's just so nice. Hey, what's his name?
Spalding.
Spalding.
He can't hear. I have headphones on.
Oh, I thought he was going to me go, Spalding. Look at him.
I'm trying to get him to not.
Oh,
there we go.
He looks happy. He likes sitting there.
His arms are stretched out, trying to hold on for dear life.
Yeah, we had big dogs. We had golden retrievers and that type of stuff. Yeah. And the toy poodle we had when we were little, then we also had, all sorts of dogs when we were little. My dad was, I know it's controversial to say this, he was called the Great White Hunter. He would, many, many years ago, that was popular, people, so don't give Chris some bad news or bad juju or whatever. But he would go to Africa and go shooting. And that's what they did a long time ago. So don't yell at me, people. But one year he brought home a baby tiger. And then we had a baby cougar. We had a monkey. And we had a black, huge ass macaw parrot. Yeah.
I'm learning new stuff about you every time. So I wonder if there are other secrets there.
No, there's a lot. But in my dad's home, he actually has tons of taxidermy stuff from many years ago. That's what they, that's what they did.
It's in the past. So
it is, yeah. And it's amazing stories he has to tell. Amazing stories. But yeah, so it was amazing. We had these, I remember waking up and hearing this weird noise and going downstairs and seeing a mountain lion, baby mountain lion in our basement. What the heck? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just.
And then when I was young, I ice skated all the time because my dad built Southwest Ice Arena in Prescott. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's his sport, ice skating.
That is right. Yeah. Hey, I tried out for the ice capades. I didn't make it, but I did try out for ice capades because I was one hell of a skater. I must say that I was.
Yeah, I never really skated. The most I did with sports was like around third grade, which was, of course, when the whole Chicago Bulls thing was all the rage with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Luke Longley. I'm trying to remember the others. It's been so long.
Much more than I remember. I can tell you about Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, and that's about it.
It's like on the tip of my tongue because I watch the games a lot with my mother and sister. So. And even recorded those big celebrations with the championships at the end. Like, unfortunately, the tapes are gone, but
yeah.
Oh well.
No, yeah. My husband used to work at the United Center before it was what was it called? The stadium before it was the United Center. Before they built the new one, and so we have tons of fun stories of basketball, hockey, all that type of stuff.
Let's see. Patty says she played tennis and sang in the choir. I actually was also in choir, but
very cool.
I just quit after sophomore year because I wanted to attend classes that were around the same time as that, and I wanted to learn 3D animation. So
well, look where it got you. See.
Yeah.
I actually did the drama route. I was in Hello Dolly and that type of stuff when I was in high school.
Oh gosh, what did they do? It was Cinderella, Rodgers and Hammerstein, and The Music Man.
That's I love High School Musicals. I mean, the next thing down the line, you asked me down the line.
You mean like that musical, High School Musical, part 1, 2, 3, 25, whatever they are at.
I do like them. I do. That's now that down the line, like after Empowering Athletes gets off on its next feet, they'll be Empowering Fine Arts for Life and Empowering Students for Life. And I just hope to have all these different things all around the country and helping all these different students find the right placements.
Like a thriving franchise.
I would love that. I would love that. Yep. Soon. Yeah.
Man. So we're getting close to the wire, actually. This has actually been fun.
So we had a good time. Yeah.
Cool. So want to ask you this final 2 questions, I guess you could say.
Okay.
What was your favorite sport growing up, and what was your favorite sport to watch, period, even today?
Oh, that's such a great question. First of all, I don't like professional sports. I like high school or college. I think my favorite sport growing up had to be hockey. My dad owned Southwest Ice Cream when we were young, and boy, I was a hockey rat. I mean, let me tell you, I would stay and watch hockey for I don't know how long. Any boyfriend I had was from a hockey team. Like we would hang out with them all the time, so it was hockey. Now my favorite sport is volleyball, and now I'm professional. Like there's volleyball in Europe, and the coach at Arizona State is a good friend of mine, and her sister or cousin actually played over in Europe this year, and watching that. And I actually have one of my daughter's dear friends plays for France, and I watch that. I really enjoy watching volleyball, girls, guys, and sand. I like watching all of it. Yeah, I'm kind of one of those people when you get in a stand, when I'm in the stands, watching everyone, I'm like the one going, yeah, enough for my kids to turn around and say, shut up, mom.
You got paint over your face with the school colors, with the foam finger going, wow.
Exactly. Let's go.
And you're going, oh no, look away.
Yes, my daughters many times would be like, Mom, we can't hear you. I'm like, that's okay, I can hear me.
That's the point.
I know. But it is funny, now that I'm older, I do say to some parents when they're like, because some parents get so mad. Okay, they get so mad in the stands. They're like yelling, you didn't get the ball, you didn't dig, you didn't do this, or coach, you didn't see that, or ref, whatever. I turn around and I say to parents, they can't hear you. And they're like, yes, they can.
People these days take things way too seriously.
I know.
I
know.
Yeah.
I was at a game the other day and I said to someone, well, this is just a game. I was at a softball game and there was this parent going crazy. And they're in fall ball. So it's not like even like big game, right? I said to the parent, I said, it doesn't matter if they win or lose this. There's no championship. Oh my gosh. I can't believe you said that. I'm like,
it's true.
Yeah. I'm like,
it's true.
I said, did your kid play the best that she or he could? Did they go ahead and do the best that they could while they were there? Did they, hit the ball the best? Did they run the fastest they could that they could for themselves? If they did, you should be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patty Horton says Chicago Stadium.
Yes.
That's what. Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure when that came up, but yeah, that's where Oscar worked when many years ago.
I'm guessing that's when it came up.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
So actually, another thought came to me. Have you ever had international students contact you? And have you ever thought about expanding internationally?
Yes, I have two. Right now I'm working with a Canadian hockey player, one more coming on. But the funny thing is I get texts all the time from kids in Africa, all over the place. Can you help me? Can you help me? There's different rules about, all that. And I feel bad. In fact, I have one post that someone came on and said, I'm going to email you. I want you to help me. And so I can't really help some of those because of different rules. Because when they come here, it's all the immigration type of thing. Oh, I just thought about something. Here's an aha moment. I know someone that wants to work with immigration really bad. And I have athletes always asking me to come over here from another country. Ding, 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 ding.
Wow, this show really helped you out with that.
It did. And Miss Patty Horton knows what I'm talking about. And wow. So, all right. Very interesting. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you for asking that question.
Yeah, that's basically the next step for thriving athletes, going internationally.
Yeah.
Make it an international brand.
I would love that. Canada is very easy. I mean, because they have the same rules as we do. So, yeah.
Dang, I do, lol, Patty.
Yeah. So, so that would be really cool. So, yes. So maybe we'll be internationally sooner than you think. And we are in Canada, yes, but I would love to be in other countries.
Okay.
On my vision board is Barcelona.
So maybe start off with Europe since sports is big there, really big there too. So.
Yeah.
Well, everywhere really, but you usually hear about the United States and Europe.
Yeah. No. I mean, I do have 2 athletes that play volleyball in Europe, but they play after college. And with football in Europe, and the same with basketball in Europe, they pay their athletes to play, but they usually take them after they do at least a year or 2 of college.
Yep. And Nancy and Scott said, "You heard it here first, folks."
That's right.
She's expanding, starting now, thinking about it, at least brainstorming.
I already have. I'm gonna. In fact, when we're done here, I'll be talking to someone right away, saying, "I got an idea."
Yes. And speaking of that, how can people contact you?
Oh, great question. Easy. I'm all over Facebook, which you already know, for thriving athletes, or empowering athletes. But thrivingathletes.org is the best way. And there's a
Oh, there goes the dog again. Sorry. Oh boy.
But he has medication, right?
Yeah, but it's kind of. I hope.
It sounds like allergies.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but anyway, thrivingathletes.org. Right, you got
it. There's tons of information on there, and you can just click on it. It says contact Mary, and you can contact us.
Yeah, and Patty says write it down. Write down the idea right now. Go on.
It's already it's got it.
Yep.
You got it. Got it.
So I just wanted to thank you again for joining me tonight, Mary. It was fun, and especially being able to, help you get that idea to really expand it globally. So,
well, I know someone I can pick on right now that would be able to start with that, which is really exciting.
So you heard it here first, folks. Anyone in Europe, contact her.
Yep. I want to go like I said, Barcelona is on I have a vision board right over there. Barcelona is right there. And I have
Barcelona, Spain, by the way, for some folks that might not know.
And I have a Hispanic speaking husband. Who played semi-pro soccer in Monterrey, Mexico.
Synchronicity right there.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yep, exactly. So I didn't get to ask you any questions. How you been, Chris? What's going on with you?
Oh, just doing these live streams, and of course that new intro, and just thinking of, I'm basically, I guess, more of a cocoon phase, I guess you could say, with everything I've learned throughout this year and trying to piece everything together before my big trip to Southeast Asia in December. So.
Oh, you are going?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Who are you going with?
An old friend of mine from all the way back to 2nd grade. So.
Oh my God!
He's been working around the Chicago region for so long that he just wants to, get out, and he's taking me along with him with that trip as the first big one. So
that's cool. Are you guys doing hostels? Or are you staying at places, or what are you doing?
It's still organizing that, but maybe I should. Oh, right. It's that time already. I'm late for a meeting, actually.
Okay, so no problem at all. Well, I'm glad to hear about you going to Asia. That's really exciting.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I'll have to have you on soon.
Yeah, and should have you back up here next time when you finally do go international and see what's going on there.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like
Well, thank you for having me. Yep. Thank you, and also thank you everyone for joining. I would certainly hope that all of you would enjoy it and be able to share this, share. And next week, for Thru Autistic Eyes, we're having Mikey Adam Cohen actually on here. So,
what a great guy! You'll have a blast.
Yeah, and of course, thank you guys for watching, and hope to see you again next week, same time, same place, and take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.